Hello, hi, good evening, a very warm good evening to everyone who are present here. So this is Krishnaveni and I'm taking you to the journey about the story of life on earth, and that's biology. So thank you so much for joining my session today. So Monday, Wednesday and Friday I teach for class 12, and for the remaining 3 days, that is Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, I teach for class 11. So today being Monday, so we are on a 12th standard chapter, that is strategies for enhanced food production. So we were having a lot of discussion of this chapter in the first lecture. So today it's lecture 2. So I hope this is as interesting and interactive as the previous lecture, because we're talking about how this application can be used practically. So that is more important, right? So than talking about the theory, the other things should be important. Yes, Priyanka, good evening. So you have changed your icon. So that's nice. So thank you so much for joining my session today. So how are you all doing? Good, great. So let's wait for a few more minutes for others to join in. So please do like, share and subscribe. So please do share the link, Priyanka, so that a lot of people will join. Yes, good evening, Priyanka Singh. So thank you so much, both of you. So I guess 12 standard chapters interest you, right? Alright, so as planned, so once a unit is over, we'll have a question discussion session in YouTube so that you can benefit. A lot of people can benefit. So if you discuss the important questions, so I have planned that as well. Okay, so thank you so much. Alright, so before we go into today's chapter, as you know, there is a mentee today. So mentee is there at 6:30, so please do get ready, and the syllabus is Animal Kingdom. Alright. Yes. So in the last class, we haven't even completed one bit of the portions. We were just talking about animal husbandry, and then we were talking, so we couldn't complete the portion. So today, let's see if we can complete at least the first half, that is animal husbandry. All right. Yes, Vinita, good evening, good evening. So thank you for joining my session. So please, you also share my session so that a lot of people will come. Yes, I understood. Hello. Hi, Keshav. Yes, this topic is exclusively for you, right? Yes, today I've got a lot of pictures for you. Yes, I am good. Thank you. Okay. Yes, I'm good and thank you. Thank you so much for joining my session today. So today we'll talk more about your animal husbandry. We'll talk about fishery. We'll talk about beekeeping and a lot of other interesting stuff in between. Yes, shall we go? So have you shared this session? So quick. And today I have a mentee, so please bring 50 participants, otherwise no more mentee. Okay, so as long as you guys don't put an effort of sharing, I'm not bringing anything. Alright, yes? Okay, so hello Keshav, so shall we move into the lecture? So for all those who are here, please note down the mentee. Hi Superfast NEET. So I guess in the last class you came when I said bye. So you were waiting till I say bye? You were waiting for my bye so that you can come and show your face here. Was that so? Yes? Alright, okay, so please be on time so that we can discuss a lot about the lecture. Fine. So today we have a mentee, and the mentee is on Animal Kingdom. So we want to talk about the first 4 phyla, that is your 𝗃𝗏𝗏, Coelenterata, 𝗃𝗵𝗄𝗏 and Platyhelminthes. And please do make a note of the code. This is your code for mentee. 5405691. So what? It's okay. You talk about the lecture here. Don't worry, don't go. Stay here. All that we want to do is teach this chapter. We want to talk about this chapter. It's okay, don't worry. Yes, good evening. So thank you so much for joining my session. So please do make a note of my mentee code. It is 5405691. Quick, so that you can join exactly at 6:30 today. Okay? And today you will bring in a lot of participants. You won't say, yes ma'am, we have shared, but still we are not playing with 35 kids. So today I want 50, because I have taught this chapter in all the class that I'm going. So I need all the participants. So all of you are coming. Please bring at least 2, 3, 4 people with you. Okay? It does not matter who it is. It can be your parents, mother, father, grandparents, or bring them anything. Alright? No, previously we had recombinant DNA technology, so I thought today it will be 11th standard chapter. Alright, so it is Animal Kingdom. So Animal Kingdom has been a long pending chapter, and in one go I cannot finish Animal Kingdom fully because it is tough for you to prepare. So I thought I will finish at least first 4 bits. Okay, how to use the code? Okay. So now if you have subscribed this channel, you will get a notification at 6 o'clock for my mentee quiz. So open that link. So in the description, click here to join the mentee. There will be a hyperlink. So select the hyperlink, go there, create a name for yourself, and then add my mentee code. Otherwise, just type www.mentee.com, go there, put my code to join my mentee and you can give in a name. Alright, yes. So that is how you join my mentee. So super fast NEET, so don't be late, so don't give me excuse. So today I really want to see you in my mentee. Okay, so are you thorough with Animal Kingdom? Yes, so shall we go forward with today's chapter? Right? So before we start the chapter, okay, maybe in between I can talk or now also I can tell you. So that day you were telling me, ma'am, we need a lot of motivation. We are so demotivated. So before I plan a proper motivation session, so I thought I will tell you a small story. So I guess, Keshav, if you're there, you said you are crying at night, you're feeling so insecure. So all that we have been discussing. So I thought I'll tell you a very small story which will not take more than 5 minutes, and then we'll enter into the lecture. The story is all about like this. You might have heard the story, might be the moral is different here. So I just want to put in a small story here because I thought it is a very good start. It is a story that I know for a long time. It's not that I just read through, I just remembered it. So there was once a young man like you and me, and he went to Socrates. Okay, so Socrates is considered as the man who knew what is the secret for success. So he went to that man and he asked, sir, can you please tell me the secret of success? I want to know and I want to become successful. Just like you, very vague, very innocent, very naive, he went to the Socrates, he went to the great legend and asked, please sir, give me the secret of success. I want to become successful in life, right? So the man looked at the young man and said, all right, I will tell you what is the secret of success, but come with me tomorrow early morning to the river bank. Okay, so I will meet you there and I will tell you what is the secret of success. The young man was so pleased that in one attempt, the legend agreed to tell him the secret behind, and he was very glad that he's going to achieve success very soon. So he was waiting so dearly for the next morning to go by the riverside. So the next morning, he woke up early and as suggested by the legend, he went to the riverside. Okay. So the legend was there as on time. Okay. So now he was so eager, the young man was so eager, so he was like, I'll get this recipe, I'll get the formula in some time, so I can also be successful. He just thought, okay, so success has one formula, A plus B is equal to so and so. So that is what he was thinking. So he went. So the legend took his hand and they started walking inside water. They walked and walked and walked until the water level reached the neck. Once the water level reached the neck, the legend, what he did was, he took the man's head and pushed him inside water. He was literally trying to put the man underwater for some time, the young man. Alright? So he was putting him in water as long as the man was suffocating to breathe. The moment he understood the man is really suffocating, he pulled him out, okay? And then the young man got his breath. Then the legend asked him, so now what was the most desperate thing that you needed when you were underwater? So the young man replied, it was air. I needed air to breathe. So that was the most important thing that I wanted because I wanted to survive. Now the legend left him out and he walked out of water and the young man quickly followed. What are you telling me? I asked you for the secret of success and you showed me a stupid demo. So the legend said, no, it was not a stupid demo. Just like all that you needed when you were underwater was air, success is just like that. When you are desperate for something, it will exactly come to you. So that desperation, so that burning desire is the start for all accomplishments. So just like a weak light cannot illuminate the whole block, the whole house, even a weak desire cannot give you enough success. If your desire is strong enough to achieve success, then no one can stop you. So always remember to have a very, very strong desire. So once your desire is very strong, there are no hurdles. So even if there are hurdles, you can easily jump over it. Alright, so this was one interesting story. So if you sit and ponder about it or analyze, you will understand the depth of meaning. So always have a burning desire. If need is your only desire, then make it the burning desire. If your desire reduces day by day, so will your success reduce. Alright, yes. So Keshav, are you listening? So please don't cry at night. And for all those who are feeling so demotivated, remember, the more desire you have, the more determined you are for something, definitely that will happen. Alright? No, I'm not going to teach Animal Kingdom. I'm just going to teach you strategies for enhanced food production. So we are going to go forward on that topic. Yes, Shubham sir, hello. So thank you so much for joining my session today. Yes, guys. So shall we go into today's lecture? Yes. So will you all have that burning desire to clear NEET? So that is our only agenda here, right? To clear NEET and to get into a good college for your MBBS. So I want to see you as doctors very soon. Okay, fine. So entering into strategies for enhanced food production. So where were we talking about? What were we talking about? So this is all that we were talking about, the strategies. So what are the strategies? So the first strategy is animal husbandry. The next one was plant breeding, single cell protein, and finally tissue culture. So we were not yet done with your animal husbandry. Today we'll try to finish animal husbandry and not more, because plant breeding and single cell proteins can be done in a day. Alright, so today we'll again talk about your animal husbandry, much in detail, much further. Alright, so what was animal husbandry that we defined in the last class? So management of farms and farm animals is called as animal, So under animal husbandry, we are going to talk about your management of farms and farm animals. So that comes under dairy and poultry farming. Alright, then it was animal breeding. So under animal breeding, so we'll talk about your beekeeping, fisheries, etc. Yes, that is your dairy farms. This is your poultry farm. These are your fisheries. Alright, fine. So management of farms and farm animals. So we are going to talk about them. So we have already done. So it is just a revision of your previous lecture. Alright. So dairy farm management, it is a management of animals for milk and its products for human consumption. So did you guys actually find out the exact number of how many milk products do we have? So last class you were giving me guess answers, right? We were counting. So it was milk, cheese, paneer, but did you actually count and come? Did you know the exact number? No, none of you tried? No? Alright, at least try today and let me know tomorrow. Fine. So milk yield and the selection of breed with a disease resistant thing. So all these makes up a big factor. So milk yield depends upon the quality of breed. So that breed that you're selecting should have a high quality production and also should be resistant to a lot of disease, because it should be able to survive in diverse conditions. For example, if near Canada they need a cow which can survive and give them good yield, the cow should be able to withstand the temperature, withstand the disease that is prevailing in that pandemic, etc., etc., right? So that is how you select a particular breed. So cattle has to be looked after well with adequate water and maintained disease free, and it has to be maintained disease free. So your cow should be clean always, because it also has a lot of secretions coming out. It can also be dirt. Sometimes its skin can get infected. So always you should ensure that the cow is clean. For that you should not give bath to the cow every day. So that is also not good. So they have a particular interval in between which they can be bathed. So you should follow that regular routine, and there should be a veterinary doctor. Sometimes you should be able to take the cow to the veterinary hospital if possible, or there should be a regular visit of your veterinary doctor. All right. So feeding has to be, it depends on the quality and the quantity of fodder. So you should give them good food, because if you see a cow grazing in your nearby garbage, so what that garbage contains? Only plastic. And the cow is trying to digest that and it's going to give you milk. So that is not possible, right? So that is harmful. So imagine that is what you are going to consume. So imagine how your body is going to take it. And that is why the rate of mutation of all the pathogens are high today. Hello, Alex. Hi. So how are you? So after a long New Year celebration, you are back. So thank you so much for joining my session. So it is great having you. So please do like, share and subscribe. All right. Okay. So cleanliness and hygiene is equally important during milking, storage and transport. During every process, it should be properly transported, because your milk is one commodity that can easily get spoiled, right? So it is also one commodity where your bacteria can go easily. So you should ensure that there is a proper hygiene between. Okay, fine. So dairy farm management. Alright, so then moving on to poultry farm management. So what is this poultry farm management? A class of domesticated fowl. So it is a class of domesticated birds that we are going to talk about, whom you use for food and their eggs. So it includes chicken and ducks, so sometimes turkey and geese as well. So poultry is the meat of only these birds. It also talks about the egg. So generally when you look up for the dictionary of what is poultry, it talks about the meat yielding birds, but you can also include the eggs that you get from these birds. Fine. Okay, so selection of, again, so whatever the practices that you followed for your dairy industry, you will follow the same thing. You will select a strain that is suitable, that is giving you a high yield, a good quality meat at the same time, which is very, very resistant to diseases, because these kind of diseases are these kind of animals are very prone to your viral infection. Example, your H1N1 flu. So that is very, very important. All right. So, 2 days before and recently also there's a virus that is spreading through crows. Yes, it has affected 5 states already. So please, if you are eating of all the poultry birds, if you are behind the poultry food, So please do control for some time till the situation gets back to normal, because we don't know how it spreads, whether it is only present in crows, we don't know nothing. So just give some time for the researchers to go through a thorough study as to how and where it's spreading. Okay, so these are your poultry. So yes, animal breeding. So we stopped right here if you remember. So we're going to talk about breeding, that is hybrids. Yes, so how many hybrids are there? Hybrid is possible in almost every species of every breed, between every breed and between every species of your animals. Today that is easy, that is a very common procedure, right? So from plants till animals you have a lot of hybrid. So today if you have heard about a linger or a tinger, so that is a lion and a tiger being mated, yes. Then you have in case of plants also, you have your cabbage of various colors. So you have your purple color, you have your green color, other colors. So hybridization technique is very common these days. Yes, it is so cute, and he is a hybrid. Okay, so just show you an example, I got it here. He's a hybrid, and look at the puppies, they're all the more cuter, right? Yes. So when you do a hybrid, okay, so if you get a German Shepherd and if you get a lab and if you're going to mate them, yes, it is possible. Yes, liger and tiger. Okay, yes, sorry. So I said liger and tiger, right? Sorry. So if you're going to bring a German Shepherd and a lab together, and if you're going to mate them so that you can get a hybrid, remember one thing, you should know whether the two organisms, that is the two breeds, that is your German Shepherd and a Labrador, are compatible with each other. Okay, so otherwise there are certain conditions before you go ahead with hybridization that you should be very clear. So one condition is you should check if the genes, if both the genomes are compatible to each other. All right, yes, fine. So animal breeding, so aims at increasing the yield of animals and improving the desirable quantity of the produce. So that is why we are going to do, this is also one strategy where to increase the yield, we are trying to bring about this strategy. All right. Thank you, Aman. Again, I'll tell you thank you because you told my line in advance. Yes, Aman, so great having you here, but again, you're late, but it's okay. So we have started the chapter already. So we are already done with the story, and I gave them the Menti code as well. So please go back and rewind the video so that you can look at the Menti code as well as the story. Okay. So today you are a bit late. All right. I thought you slept off. So what is animal breeding? So once again, it aims at increasing the yield of animals and improving the desirable quantities of the produce. So breed. So what is a breed? So we're talking about breeding. So what is breed? So this is how you define a breed. So it's a group of related, animals by descent or similar in most characters like your general appearance, features, size, configuration, etc. We are all of the same breed. Do you agree? So we all belong to Homo sapiens, so we are all of the same breed. So if you take Labradors, all Labrador dogs are of the same breed. All German Shepherd dogs are of the same breed. So that is called as breed. So they have almost similar characters. Okay. Yes, so you prefer my okay, you are preparing for my mentee. All right, so great. So today I want to see you on the leaderboard, so you should never get out of the leaderboard. All right, yes. And you will bring a lot of kids. So today the participants should be 50 participants. All right, great. So now we have defined breed. Now there are two types of breeding. One is called as inbreeding and the other one is called as outbreeding. So from the term, it should be pretty clear what is inbreeding and what is outbreeding. So if you breed among the breeds, if you breed within the species, it is called as inbreeding. And if you cross two other species, that is called as outbreeding. Yes. Great, Aman. So that is a good number. So thank you so much once again. Okay, so we are going to define each of them and we are going to look at each of the characteristics. So if you do inbreeding, so what is the advantage? If you do inbreeding, so what are the disadvantages? So here we are going to talk about the pros and cons. All right. So first we'll start with inbreeding. So that is breeding among more closely related individuals within the same breed. So if you have 10 Labradors and if you try mating, if you try breeding among themselves, among the 10 itself, that is called as inbreeding. Okay. Yes. Fine. So for almost 4 to 6 generations, you breed within the same group, you do not change the group. So how do you mate? For example, if I have 10 Labradors and if I have to do inbreeding, I just do not take 1 or 2 and then directly mate. So I select for a criteria. So I look for the superior male. So the superior male who's very strong, whose features are very good, and I also look for female who has a very good milk yielding, so in case of dog, they should be able to reproduce better, right? So I look for a superior female and I look for a superior male, and then I will mate them for 4th to 6th generation. For example, now I find a superior male and a superior female, then I mate them. So the offspring again comes. So now if that offspring is superior or inferior, so I'll look into it and again I will mate. Okay? Yes, exactly, Illuminati. So hi, so you have been so quiet without interaction. So, but anyways, thank you so much for joining. So that is how you do inbreeding. So you select a superior male and female. So in case of, if you're talking about a cow, so in case of a cow, the superior female will be the one that can give you maximum lactation per yield. So the more increased milk producing can give you, that can become the superior female. So in case of male, it can be a bull that has elite strong masculine features. All right. Okay. So superior female can be cow or buffalo that produces more milk per lactation, and superior male can be bull. Yes. Superior lebra. So can you repeat your question once again? Yes. Okay. So let him repeat. Yes. So for a long time, so for 4th to 6th generation, you're continuously looking for a superior male and superior female and you're breeding them. So it will give you increased homozygosity. So it will be a pure line breed. So you will not have any hybrid because you're mating among themselves, right? So you will have a very, very pure line breed. So there will be no recombinance, no change. So they will directly resemble your parents. So that is called as increased homozygosity. So for example, if I am selecting a superior male and a superior female, and if both of them have harmful genes, for example, all of us have cancer genes, right? So it might be such that you know about alleles. For example, if we have one allele that is affected and one allele that is normal, so it depends upon whether it is a dominant or a recessive condition, right? So if this is a recessive condition, then it will not cause any disease because you have one dominant with us. But if it's a dominant one, even if one allele is affected, then it will lead to the disease formation. So what is pure line? For example, if I have 10 cows, okay? So if I'm continuously mating and breeding among the 10 cows, there won't be any difference. There won't be a single character in the progeny that will come from outside. So now almost everyone will look similar to each other, right? So that is called a very pure line. There is no recombinance, so it is called as a pure line breed. All right, yes? Yes. So it is inbreeding, so it will only consider the same breed, yes? So it is between closely related species, all right? Okay? So at the same time, if a superior male and a superior female has harmful genes, so then both the harmful genes will be selected and it will be eliminated by natural selection. All right. So that is also one advantage. For example, if you are selecting a superior male and a superior female, so that is M and F. So both of them have one copy of a harmful gene. So now by natural selection, these two will be eliminated. So that is also one advantage of your inbreeding. All right. Okay. And also desirable genes will be selected. For example, this is a desirable gene of superior male and this is a desirable gene of superior female. Just consider. Now the offspring will have the best gene from the father and the mother. So desirable genes are also selected. At the same time, harmful genes are also eliminated. So that is another advantage of your inbreeding. But what happens is, what is the disadvantage? Always when there is so many advantages, yes, there is one disadvantage. Sorry, nothing can be completely perfect. So remember, even this has a disadvantage. So what is the disadvantage? So continuous inbreeding will also reduce the fertility because you do not have any variation. So you do not have any evolution. So all you have is a pure line. Only where there is variation and evolution, you tend to proceed and continue living further. That is the survival of the fittest. So if you continue mating among the same breed for a long time, then that reduces the fertility. So that is called as inbreeding depression. So when you lose the fertility by continuous inbreeding, so that is called as inbreeding depression. So what do you do for inbreeding depression? You mate it with a different breed for one generation. Okay, so long you were mating among the same group, now you'll take the superior male here or superior female here and mate it with another organism from another breed. Alright, so that is how inbreeding depression is overcome. Alright, yes. Yes, you're right, Aman. So that is what happens in case of your pure breeding. Okay. So that is inbreeding depression. Fine. Okay. So this we have discussed. This is inbreeding. So continuous inbreeding gives you inbreeding depression. Fine. So now we are done with inbreeding. So in inbreeding, we only spoke about one type, that is inbreeding. What is the process, how it is done, why it is done, and what is the disadvantage. So the disadvantage is your inbreeding depression. Fine. Now we are going into outbreeding. So just as the name suggests, it is breeding between different or less closely related species. Alright. So breeding of unrelated animals. So basically it literally means the term outbreeding. Okay. So it is out of the box. Yes. So single outcross, you're right. Okay. So Illuminati, great. So breeding of unrelated animals, that is between individuals of same breed, but they do not have a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generation. So they are also of the same breed, but the ancestors are not same. So in that case also it is called as an outbreed. So it is called as an outcross specifically. Okay. So both the Labradors may belong to the same breed because both are Labradors, but their ancestors may not be same for 4 to 6 generations. Their ancestors might have come from a crossbreed. Okay, so that such a crossing is called as an outcross. Alright, then between different breeds, you can take 2 different breeds, for example, one German Shepherd and one Labrador, and then made, so that is exactly what is called as a crossbreed. You're taking 2 different species and trying to cross them. Yes, Harini, good evening. So thank you so much for joining my session. So it's great having you here. Then between different species, so between 2 different species, so breed is okay, 2 different breeds is okay, 2 different species, like when you mate a tiger and a lion, when a donkey and a horse is mated, so that is interspecific hybridization. So once again focus, so here you have 3 terms, one is outcross, the other one is crossbreeding, and the third one is interspecific hybridization. So 3 are 3 different terms, they are not the same, but they all come under the heading outbreeding. Alright, so just because I have given all the 3 terms in a single line, it does not mean they are similar, synonyms or equivalents. They are 3 different terms and they come under one topic, that is outbreeding. Alright, so outbreeding is that we are going to breed between animals that are not closely related. Alright, okay, so outbreeding can be of 3 types. One is outcross, when they do not have a same ancestor for 4 to 6 generation, but it is within the same breed. So within the same breed where they do not have a common ancestor. Alright, the next one is between different breeds. So when you have 2 different breeds and you're trying to mate them, so that is called as crossbreeds. Now when you have 2 different species, so a donkey and a horse, so that is called as interspecific hybridization. Alright, so get it cleared, because in exam how they will ask you is, they will not ask you the direct definition, because it's not going to be a school exam, it's going to be a national level exam. So they'll give you examples or they will trick you with a situation. For example, there was a goat hay and it had so many problems, so it was trying to so and so. So what is the final phenomenon? So there you should be able to distinguish between an outcross, crossbreed and an interspecific hybridization. Alright, yes. Okay, so now going into outcross. So we are going to talk about each of them in detail. So outcross, it is mating animals with the same breed but having no common ancestors on either side, either on the male side or on the female side. So the resulting offspring is called as an outcross. Fine. So this is one way of overcoming your inbreeding depression. So inbreeding depression occurs after repeated mating of your related breeds, right? So to overcome your inbreeding depression, we go ahead with outcrossing. So we take 2 animals which do not have a common ancestor and then mate them to reduce your inbreeding depression. So how is your inbreeding depression reduced? Remember, with the help of outcrossing. Fine. Okay. Now what is crossbreeding? So crossbreeding is superior male of one breed are mated with the superior females of another breed. So now consider you have Labradors and you have German Shepherds. Okay. So you take a superior male of a breed of a Labrador and a superior male of a German Shepherd and you're trying to mate them. So ultimately they come under the same species as dogs, but within dogs there are 2 different breeds, right? So this is different, that is different, but you're selecting the desirable one from this and a desirable from one from this. So that is why it is called as a crossbreeding. Alright, so crossbreeding helps us to obtain or collect desirable genes. So desirable genes in Labradors will also be selected. Desirable genes in German Shepherd will also be selected. So that is one advantage of your crossbreeds. Yes, is this much understood? No doubt? Fine. So example here is your 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗀𝗃. So this you will remember. So this is again a repeatedly asked question in case of your NEET exam. So 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗃 is a new breed of sheep that is developed in Punjab. So it is a cross between 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗃𝗃 and Merino Rams. So remember, both of them belong to the same group, that is sheep. They belong to the same species of sheep, but within the sheep they are of two different breeds. To get a hybrid, they are being mated. So 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗃𝗃 is one breed and Merino Rams are another breed. So both of them are being mated to get an hybrid, that is 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗃. So this is a crossbreed. Okay, so this is a complete hybrid. All right, yes. Okay, so that is about your crossbreeding. Now talking about your interspecific hybridization. What is interspecific hybridization? When you are crossing two different species. So though if I am crossing a Labrador and a German Shepherd, at the end of the day, both are dog family, right? But when I am crossing a horse and a donkey, so it is two different species, so completely different. So that is called as interspecific hybridization. You would have heard about mule, right? So male and female animals of two different related species are mated here. So example, mule. So mule has which mother and which father? Whether the donkey is female or the donkey is male. So what is mule? So who are the parents of a mule? I know it's donkey and a horse, but tell me which is the male and which is the female there for mule. So before that, I will show you the picture. So for example, this is the new hybrid, that is 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗃, that is being produced. So who are the parents? So the one parent is your 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗃𝗃. So that is one parent. So this is 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗃𝗃 and this is Merino Rams. Okay. So this gives you 𝗃𝗴𝗃𝗃. So all are sheep at the end of the day. So this is a crossbreed. So tell me in case of mule, so which is the mother, which is the father? So mule is a cross between your donkey and a horse. I guess this much you know. So here the donkey is male and here the horse is female. So male donkey is your ma'am, female horse and male donkey. Yes, so that is your mule. Yes, donkey is male. Yes, done. So here the donkey is male, here the horse is female. Yes, you're right, Alex. So 𝗃𝗃 is the opposite. So 𝗃𝗃 will have a donkey that is female. So this you remember. So this was once asked in your NEET. So make a note of it. All right. So in case of horse, it is a male. So this is 𝗃𝗃 and this is mule. Fine. Yes. So this is a interspecific hybridization. So just like you have your, yes, male donkey into female horse is mule. Yes, you're right. Okay. But that brown sheep looks like a ghost. This one. So they're trying to select the desirable genes. So you're scared of the sheep? All right. Fine. So shall we go forward? Okay. So I gave you a lot of examples. So we spoke about 3 different types of your outbreeding, right? So one was your outcross, crossbreed and interspecific hybridization. But though this is done, so if I let 2 different types of sheep to breed, so there can be experiments also that can be done on this, controlled experiments. You can just choose your own sheep, you can just choose your own genes before you actually carry out the experiment, all right? 𝗘𝗵𝗵𝗀 is very quiet today. He's just watching the lecture because the operator told him not to spam around. So I guess he's very quietly watching the lecture. I guess it's the operator, the night boat. I'm not sure. I guess it should be the operator. All right. So the operator is very strict today. The operator is asking no one to spam around. All right. Okay. Okay. So how can you control the breeding experiment? So if I want a superior male, if I want a superior female, so how can I work into the picture? So how can we as researchers, we as scientists come into picture? So that is why we have experiments like artificial insemination. So what is artificial insemination? So this is your first type of experiment. So artificially inseminating a cow. So semen is collected from the male that is chosen as a parent. First you choose a superior male who has some elite features like strong masculine features, all right. So you choose that particular kind of male, and then you collect this female semen sample from the male. So you artificially inject hormones so that male cow produces semen. So you collect that semen, all right. So now it is the semen that is collected is injected into the reproductive tract of the selected female by the breeder. So here you have the introduction of a person, so it does not happen naturally. So here we come into picture. We are controlling the breeding experiment. Yes? Yes, exactly. So now the collected semen is injected into the reproductive tract of a female, so that you are actually selecting a superior male and a superior female, and even if they are from a distant location, you can easily mate with the help of artificial insemination. So all you have to do is collect the semen sample from the male and transport it so that it can be mated with a superior female. All right? Yes? Yes, exactly. So that is called as the 𝗵𝘃 technique. So semen that is collected may be used immediately, or it can be frozen as well. So these days the technology has so improved that you can freeze the eggs and the semen so that it can be used in the further case. So when you do your IVF technology, that is in vitro fertilization, so they super simulate the females so that they produce more than one egg. So according to the cycle or the menstrual cycle of a female, they produce only one egg per month, right? So you artificially induce the females to produce more eggs, and they store the eggs for future purpose. For example, if that one egg that is produced does not mate with the sperm, or if it is a failure, so there is no proper mating, so in that case they use the second egg, so they can easily store your gametes as well. All right. So here also it is the same case. The semen collected may be used immediately, or it can be frozen. All right. It can also be transported in a frozen form to where the female cow is housed. Yes. So there are storage vials in which you can freeze your gametes. All right. Yes. I am coming to that point. Fine. So that is one type of breeding experiment. Now we'll talk about the second type. So the second experiment is very important. So it is called as multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. So this is very, very important. Again, you will have a question from this. Multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. So it is MOET. So just like your the name suggests, so literally, so you are going to produce multiple ovules and then transfer the embryo. So how it is being done? So a cow, here you will act on a female cow. So there you were artificially inseminating a male cow. So here you are going to act on a female cow. Already, yes. So the cow is administered with hormones. So here you are going to give hormones to the female cow like FSH that will induce follicular maturation, and it will produce more than one ova, or it will produce many ovums. All right. So that is how you are going to induce the cow. So the animal is mated with the elite bull or artificially inseminated. So you stimulate the cow, you produce a lot of eggs, you take that in vitro. In vitro is outside the body condition. You artificially collect the eggs. Then now these eggs will be mated with the semen that is collected artificially, all right, or it will be mated directly. So now you have your sperms and eggs together, so you have fertilization happening. So once fertilization has happened, so you have this 8 to 32 staged cells. So then it is recovered non-surgically and it is transferred to another mother. So that is called as a multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. All right. So what do you do? So you collect the oocytes from this cow. That means you collect the egg. Fine. Now you have the artificially collected semen with you. So that is what we saw in the previous step. So you let both of them mate. So you will have the embryo formation here. So fertilization occurs and then you have the embryo formation. You can see 3 layers here: mesoderm, ectoderm, endoderm. So this is your embryo. Now you will wait till it reaches the 8 to 32 stage. So once it has reached the 8 to 32 stage, you will take this and introduce into another cow. So this cow will act as a surrogate mother. So this cow did not produce your female gamete. All it is doing is help carry the embryo. Okay. So such a kind of mother is called as a surrogate mother. The mother who did not produce the gametes, or who is not responsible for the gametes, but only responsible for carrying the embryo. All right. So now you have taken eggs from this cow, semen from another cow. So you have artificially done the fertilization. Once the fertilization is done, you allow the embryo to divide and grow. So once it has reached the 8 to 32 stage cell, you take this group of cells, you take this group of embryo and implant it inside another cow. So the other cow will now act as your surrogate mother. Alright, so it will produce beautiful offsprings. Now the mother cow will be ready for the next round of stimulation because it will only produce eggs. This will only carry the eggs. But so this is all about your multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. Embryos formed inside the genetic mother? No. So this is the genetic mother who's producing the eggs. But this is just a surrogate mother who's carrying the embryo. Okay. So there is a difference between, so this is the genetic mother, the offsprings will be identical to this cow, not to this cow. This cow is only carrying the baby. Alright, yes. So that is called as surrogacy. So surrogacy is also happening in case of humans when the uterus of a particular female is very, very weak. When it cannot carry the development of an embryo, because the development of an embryo actually happens inside the uterus, right? So once your fertilized egg gets implanted on the uterine wall, then you have the development of your embryo. Sometimes when a human female's uterus is not very strong, when it is very weak, when it cannot carry the development of an embryo, so people look for surrogacy mother. So they will collect the eggs from the mother who wants to have a baby and the father. And then once they have reached a particular embryonic stage, particular cell stage, they will implant it in another female who's just going to carry the baby. So such a kind of thing is called a surrogate pregnancy or surrogate baby. So one example is you should know Shilpa Shetty, right? So her second baby was a surrogate baby. Alright? Okay? So there are so many cases of surrogacy you can Google. So it is very common. So it is possible in case of animals as well as in humans. Fine? Okay? So this is about your multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. So before it was considered as a taboo, but these days people are pretty okay because the genetic mother is this. So they are just going to carry the baby. Alright? Yes? Fine. So next thing, so we are done with your dairy and poultry farming. Then we went on to talk about your animal breeding. So breeding between species, out of species, within the same breeds with no common ancestors, etc. We spoke about a lot of classification of your outbreed. So now we are entering the second point, that is your beekeeping. Yes, so how many of you like honey here? So I guess Keshav is very quiet, so he's not going to interact with us. So I believe all of you like honey, okay? So Keshav, without you interacting, the class is a bit boring. Is that so? Yes. Or did you doze off? Because the operator asked you to be quiet, did you doze off silently? Yes. Why are you saying bye-bye? We still are not done. What happened? What happened? Why are you saying bye-bye? You have to go? Okay, where embryo formation occurs, so once your egg and your fertilization meet, so egg and fertilization will meet in your oviduct. So once the fertilization happens, so after few minutes, it will come and it will travel towards the uterine wall and it will get implanted. So only in your uterine wall, only inside your uterus, exactly the development of embryo formation takes place, okay? So actually it's something like this, so you have your egg and your sperm. Okay, so they meet inside the oviduct, so they fertilize. So once they fertilize, they will have so many extra stages like your gastrula, bastrula, etc. So at a particular stage, they will travel down to your uterine wall and they will get implanted into your uterine wall. Only when they implant with the uterine wall, you will have the formation of placenta. Alright, yes? Okay, so since Keshav is not here, you are also going. Wow, great. Okay, fine. I guess Keshav is silently watching. He will not comment. Okay. But I guess he's there. So 2 minutes silence for Keshav being silent. Alright, great. He's very quiet. He's continuously concentrating on the lecture, so don't worry, okay? Yes, so today the interaction is less because the operator is asking everyone to keep quiet. Fine, it's okay. So we are almost done with the lecture, so don't worry. If you want to have fun, we can definitely have fun. So if there's a will, there's a way, right? So it does not matter. So we are not talking about nonsense, we are only talking about the lecture, so no problem. Fine. So now we are entering into beekeeping, so we'll quickly finish beekeeping and fisheries before we end the lecture. Alright, so beekeeping or apiculture, it is the maintenance of hives of bees for the production of honey. So basically we are talking about honey production. Honey is a food of high nutritive value that finds use in a lot of medicine, therapies as well. So your honey is very, very important. That's why they said when you wake up in the morning, have a spoonful of honey. So it is very rich in your nutritive value. So honeybees produce bee wax also apart from your honey, and bee wax is used in the preparation of your cosmetics, polishes, etc. So the increased demand of honey led to the increased demand of beekeeping practices, because if you want more product, you have to invest time in the procedure, right? So that is what basically happened. So your beekeeping, that is your beehives, can be practiced in sufficient places in any areas where there is bee pastures of wild shrubs, fruit orchids and cultivated crops, because they need nectar, right? So that is why where there are good variety of trees and shrubs with flowers, so that is the best area to rear your bees. All right, yes. So several species of honeybees are present, but the most common one is Apis indica. So we are also spoken about your Apis indica when we are talking about your animal kingdom, right? So yes, so it is the same bee. So this is your Apis indica. Fine. Okay. So one more recent news, let me tell you. Yes. So your honey is bringing, your honeybee is carrying your honey. Yes. Okay. So that was a cute GIF. So I have one more important and an interesting thing to tell you. Honeybee venom kills aggressive breast cancer cells, gives an Australian study. So this news was published in the month of September. So exactly 7th of September. So this says the honeybee venom can kill aggressive breast cancer cells. So what is more effective here is, okay, so Aman is saying that he will bring honey and we'll sit under the tree and eat. So we are not Pooh here. So we have no time for being Pooh. All we can do is only prepare for NEET. So even if Pooh comes into our picture, we'll ask Pooh to study. All right. So we are that busy with our schedule. All right. So look at this. This is an interesting news. So it says honeybee venom can kill aggressive breast cancer cells. You have a lot of drugs that can kill your cancer cells, but along with your normal cells. So that is the most dangerous and the challenging thing. So you have chemotherapies, you have radiotherapies, you have a lot of therapies present, but everything will attack your normal cells equally. For example, so to talk the fact, your cancer cells are very, very rapidly dividing cells, right? So if you're going to attack your cancer cells, even your nail cells, even your hair cells, your skin cells are also fast growing. So they also get affected. That's why a chemotherapeutic patient or a radiotherapy patient, they do not have hair, because you're trying to kill the fast dividing cells along with your normal cells, right? So that is the reason. So that is one way in which your honeybee venom proves very, very smart. So what exactly is happening? So as the active component of the honeybee venom, so your honeybee venom contains a particular component called as militin. Okay, it is positively charged amphipathetic 26 amino acid peptide. So we are talking from the biochemistry point of view. So that is called as militin. Okay. So a specific concentration of honeybee venom that is containing a militin can induce 100% cancer death with minimal effect on normal cells. It proved to be way, way smarter than your chemotherapeutic or your radiotherapeutic techniques. All right. So militin could completely destroy cancer cell membranes within 60 minutes. So this was a research that was published on the 7th of September. So they're trying to bring this to a clinical level. So this must be done on a in vitro. So you artificially culture your breast cancer cells and you add a particular concentration and you study. But this has to be got to the human trials. It has to be got to the clinical levels to get an approval. Okay. But this is one clue that we have got. Yes, even natural remedies can cure cancer. All right. So since we are talking about honey, I thought I will get this news. All right. Yes. Fine. So going further about your beekeeping. So beekeeping is not tough. But to make a beekeeping or to do that successfully, there are some things that you should know as a prerequisite. So what are those things? Knowledge of nature and habits of bees. So where do the bee concentration increase? What kind of flowers do they prefer? So something like that. Selection of suitable location for keeping beehive. Where exactly it is best to keep the beehive so that you can later extract it. So all that is essential. So catching and hiving of swarms, so group of bees, so how do you deal with them and not make a mess? So management of beehives during different seasons. So just like you change according to the seasons, just like you wear winter clothes, you wear summer clothes, you take food accordingly. So they also have seasonal habits. So handling and connection of honeybee and bee wax, so that is also equally important. Okay. So bee pollinators of bees are also pollinators of many crop species. So this you will remember. So they might ask you a question in this. Bees are pollinators of which of the plant? So it is called a sunflower, brassica, apple and pear. So brassica is your mustard. Yes. So the process of beekeeping is called as apiculture. Yes, Keshav. So thank you for coming and texting here. Okay, is this done? Yes, so if you watch a lot of National Geographic channel, they will show you how dangerous bees can be, but at the same time, they are equally beneficial in terms of honey, in terms of bee wax, and now in terms of venom also. Fine? Okay, so the last topic for this evening is your fisheries. So we'll end with your fisheries. Okay, so what are fisheries? So it is an industry that is devoted to catching, processing, and selling of fishes, shellfishes, or other aquatic animals. So that is what is called as a fishery. Okay, so your prawn, crab, lobster, edible oyster, so they all act as food. Yes, Keshav, they act as your food, right? So wait, I will make you happy. I've got the pictures of all the fishes so that you can see. When I was making the slides only, I was thinking about you. Alright, so the freshwater fishes, so you will remember the freshwater fishes here, and also you will remember the marine water fishes. Sometimes they can ask you and match the following. So we will not lose one opportunity to lose mark, okay? To miss an silly mark, okay? So we'll utilize every opportunity so that we'll pay attention and study each and everything in detail. So you'll talk about freshwater fishes. So freshwater fishes are your katla, rohu and common carp. Alright, yes. So marine edible fishes are hilsa, sardine, mackerel and pomfrets. So now I will show you the picture, Keshav. You tell me how many you have tasted. Alright, yes. But ab to time ho gaya. So what are we going to do? It's okay. So here we go. Okay. So you will tell me which is what fish first. Can you identify which is what fish? So I have a set of fishes here. So now you'll tell me which is what fish. Quick. And also, what is fish? What are fishes? So if you say fish is plural, sorry, fish is singular and fishes are plural, are you right? So this is singular, this is plural, is that so? So here there are fishes, here there is a fish, is that so? Yes. You only taste 3 types of fish. Alright. Okay. So fish refers to a particular variety of fish. For example, this is your rohu. So rohu has 3 fishes here, 3 fish here. So you still say fish. You do not say fishes. So all these together is called fishes. When you have more than one variety, we call it as fishes. Alright. So that is one basic thing that many of you make mistake. So fish is when you're talking about a single variety of fish. So fishes is when you're talking about a lot of varieties of fish, right? Yes, ecology is a study of fish, so you know so much, alright. Okay, so let's look into the names because Keshav is not naming it. So first one is rohu, so the first 3 are freshwater fishes, alright. So they are freshwater fish. So have you tasted rohu? Yes. The next one is katla, the last one is your common carp. So you have tasted these 3 types only, is that so? Okay, so the last row is your marine fishes. So the first one is your hilsa, the next one is your sardines, and the third one is your mackerel, and the fourth one is your pomfrets. Alright, yes? Clear? So this is about your fisheries, so you will remember this as well, because they might ask you questions from the least expected thing. So don't miss any opportunity. So remember the fishes also. So it is not tough because you have already read this in your animal kingdom, so it is just a repetition. Fine? Yes? I guess I have the next slide, that is plant breeding, but we'll stop right here. So we are done with your animal breeding. So next thing is your plant breeding, that we'll talk about in the next class, that is on Wednesday. So next class we'll talk about your plant breeding as well as a single cell protein. Yes? Okay? So meanwhile, so what is that called here? So which was the type of fish here? Acha, you have an aquarium at home, so that is great, and you have a carp. Okay, so you eat big katla also. See, slowly one by one variety is coming. Okay, so that is nice. So you have an aquarium. So how many variety of fishes you have? Okay, so tomorrow we have a class at 4 p.m. So tomorrow we are going to talk about a class 11 chapter. That is, we are going to continue with your morphology. So before that, do join me for my mentee quiz. So mentee is at 6:30 and the syllabus is Animal Kingdom. So I will meet you there, but bring in a lot of participants. All right? Yes, right? Okay, so bye-bye. Take care. Yes, so Naveen was so quiet all the time. So thank you so much, Naveen, for being a very good audience. Okay? Okay, guys. So fine, bye. I will meet you at 6:30. Thank you.